don't want to accept that.
Every time a politician in our country gets up and says we need to get the lazy, incompetent teachers out of the classroom, they get a rousing round of applause. And here you are saying we should trust teachers. Don't you think that we need layers of kind of technical expertise to kind of keep teachers moving forward and so on, and doing the right thing and on task?
Are you really the author of To Teach, a Journey of a...
I'm trying to channel Glenn Beck for you, you know, because I read him so you don't have to.
Oh, thank you.
That's my job.
I appreciate it. Yeah.
But really, I'm trying to get you to think a bit about how you answer the questions that people like us in this room get all the time. Okay, it sounds cute, it sounds nice, and I'm sure you're lovely at it. They say, kind of tapping us on the head. But how can you do that in a system like Madison or like Chicago or like
I think
Milwaukee?
there are a lot of people doing it, and they do it sometimes. Sometimes they have to do it between the cracks, but they also that is they have to just keep growing up between the cracks in the armor of the great administration, if you will, and that's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to make that common faith as explicit and as militant as you can. In fact, that's written on my gravestone, the last section of a common faith.
Is it?
Yes.
What does it say?
I've looked at my gravestone.
Tell me what it
says.
says.
It says we have to take the common faith and make it explicit and make it militant.
When you look at something like Debbie Meyer's work in Spanish Harlem, is that an expression of what you...
I think that's an example.
That's really community organizing as well as
indeed.
Progressive teaching. I mean, it's really reaching out, and those teachers really kind of express a common faith in parents. I mean, often the divide between parents and teachers is a kind of a chasm where, progressive teachers think they're holding the progressive torch and parents are kind of the great unwashed. And that tension is hard sometimes to bridge.
One of the things that I've seen in propaganda that comes from the top too often, and it is the framing of educational improvement as a national competitive kind of thing, which redounds then to all the participants, teachers becoming, schools becoming competitive with one another, teachers becoming competitive forced to be competitive for job, for salary, and so forth, making students more competitive with each other and less likely to share a kind of sense of community. It seems to me that we need to move in a much less acquisitively oriented, and I've said that in some of my work. We base so much on acquisition in our society. That is, we transform educational edification and goodness and helping people develop their full potential and capacity and things of that sort into grade point averages and test scores, and it drives me crazy. And we have to move into the realm of accepting those kinds of things as worthwhile purposes for education.
The great